What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Urod, the host of Fantasy, the hub of fantasy football, and I have my awesome king co-host, Foley.
That's right. King Foley, the people's king of the Hub South Fantasy Football League.
I don't know about all that, but look, first want to say welcome. It's fantasy football season.
It's football time. As we're recording,
Yes.
the Hall of Fame game is getting ready to kick off.
And it's such a glorious thing. We will have football every week until the Super Bowl.
Yes.
So it's awesome.
Merry football, everyone. Carson Beck might be the first quarterback in history to throw the last pass of the college football season and then throw the first pass of the next NFL season.
I like it. I like it. So saying this, we will start now
with a sponsor.
Well, let me.
We will start with a sponsor.
Go ahead with your sponsor, sir. I concede.
Today's podcast is brought to you by the Santa Clara substation, one of the premier training facilities in all of the NFL. It's right outside of San Francisco, and 3 out of 4 NFC West teams love the Santa Clara substation. They think it's great for injuries and or prevention of injuries. Those 3 that think it's great are the Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks, of course. Don't ask the 49ers what they think about it. They're a little bit sensitive about it.
Claimed another one with Mr. Ricky. All right.
Yes.
So saying that, we will start weekly. So welcome. Hope you enjoy. Also, I do want to say this, Foley. I do not know if you know this, but I have word from some people that we are kind of a big deal. They listen to us in Hattiesburg, our hometown, for their fantasy feast.
Well, shout out to whoever you are, James.
No. It's somebody. It's the, let's see, how would I say this? It is a co-owner of a restaurant chain.
Well, let's get some sponsorships in here, guys. Shout out. We'd be glad to talk about how much we love your restaurant.
Yes, absolutely. I think they actually have a black bean burger.
Oh, now you're speaking my language.
And we have visited said restaurant to eat for our fantasy football league.
I think I know where we're talking about.
Yes.
Shout out, guys.
All right. So, hey, if you want a burger, go to Mugshots. So that's free.
Free sponsorship there.
That one's free. So look, Foley, before we're fixing to get started, I think we need to start with probably the most valuable player for fantasy football, the quarterback. What are your thoughts?
Certainly most valuable if you're in a superflex league like we are.
Yes.
I'll just get this out of the way, just a strategy thing. Get this out the way right away. For most listeners, if you're in a normal league, you don't want to go quarterback early. Uriah and I have talked about this before. I recommend waiting. The difference between QB1 and QB5, let's say, there is a difference, but it's not huge. But in a super flex league like we are, it is by far the most important, and you're really in a hole if you don't get one of the first few picks of the draft where you can get a top tier quarterback.
Absolutely. And to kind of bounce off what you said, most people in a league will be 10 to 12. So you got to think from, just take out number 1 because they're probably going to be above everybody else. So from 2 to 10 or 12, like Foley said, it's not that big of a difference. So wait. If you see a run, especially if you see a run, just wait, grab that number 8, number 9 guy, and you will be fine.
Especially if you listen to us, and you'll know who the real ones to take are, where the real value is.
So starting, Foley, I say we start at number 32 and work our way up. A little mystery.
I like this.
So
can we start at? You're gonna be shocked why I'm asking this, but can we start at 33?
Absolutely. It will kind of be in my rankings. I think I know where you're going, but yes, we can start with 33. And I will say this. Every year, listeners, there is a team that comes out of nowhere, a quarterback that comes out of nowhere. So please take that into account when our rankings, because we're not going to be 100% correct. So don't flame us. Don't flame us.
We'll be directionally correct, though,
Yes.
and we'll be more right than wrong.
Okay.
So actually, I'm going to throw another curveball real quick. I do want to just briefly mention my 34 because as longtime listeners know, I have these little awards that I give out as we go through rankings, these little tags. And number 34 is my golden handcuff. This is the backup quarterback who I think has the best chance to both make the field and if he does make the field, not just be garbage, not just be Jake Browning where he gets benched after 3 weeks.
Yes.
So I'm just going to throw it out there. Uriah's not going to like this, but my number 34 overall quarterback is Justin Fields for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
Mahomes is coming off injury. It's a decent situation for a quarterback like Fields to be in. I think he is, if you're in a deep league with multiple quarterbacks, I think he's a decent one to do as a handcuff.
I can't fault you on that. So let's go to number 33. I think I know where you're going, but
who's going first?
I'm gonna let you go because I didn't have a 33, but I think I know where you're going. So you have the floor, sir.
Okay. And the award for this one is Keep Your Receipt. He is currently consensus ranked QB 21.
Oh,
he is my 33. He is Malik Willis. And I will grant that he is a Geno Smith of the Year candidate. Every year we have a veteran quarterback who, since Geno Smith, this has happened every year, who has not done anything his entire career and then suddenly has a great year. I don't think that's going to be Malik Willis. I could be wrong. I think that his floor is much higher than 33, I will admit, but I think he has very little ceiling because he has nothing around him. And to be honest, like what we're projecting on him is so minimal. The sample sizes of him being good, they're there, but they're so small. And now you're sticking him into this situation where he has no wide receivers, he has no offensive line, and he has one of the toughest schedules in the NFL. Even if he's like not terrible, he's just not going to put up the numbers you're going to want for where you're taking him. I'm staying away from Malik Willis. He is my QB 33.
So I will bounce off that, and I'm throwing stats, my friend. I'm throwing them against the wall. We're going to see what sticks. Malik Willis, number 32 for the Dolphins, will have 2,900 passing yards and 15 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty disappointing.
Yeah, that's bottom of the floor, my friend.
Yeah.
I have no faith in the Dolphins. I have no faith in the coaching staff. The only bright spot is A-Chain, and with the box being stacked and no wide receivers, good luck with that. But that's another episode.
Yeah. I mean, we've talked, and I do like their offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowick. I always have. But, I mean, they're all being set up for fail. Jeff Halfley, the head coach, he's being set up to fail. This is a transition regime. And maybe Willis can just manage to keep his job for the next regime when they actually put some weapons around him. Yeah. So if you are in a keeper league, maybe you can strategically go after him. I wouldn't, though. The schedule is brutal. Again, he will be better than the 33rd best quarterback in the NFL, but his upside is so limited that I've just effectively moved him off my board.
Absolutely. So now we're going to, you have a 32.
I do have a 32. I assume you do as well.
Well, Malik was my 32.
Willis was your 32.
So go ahead with your 32. And look,
my 30.
We're fixing to have some deep conversations. So go ahead, Foley.
For sure we are. My 32 is, you know what? Actually, I'm sorry. I was reading it wrong. I was reading my own rankings wrong. Fields was 33. Willis was 32.
Great. All right. So let's go to 31 for you. You go ahead.
Okay. Shedeur Sanders.
Ooh.
Did you have him higher or lower?
Just go ahead. We're not.
Shedeur Sanders. I mean, look, he's in a competition with Deshaun Watson, who I have at 43. I think Shedeur will win, and if he wins, there is a path to him being good. It's not likely. It is not at all likely that he is good or that Watson is good. But I think there's at least a chance. There was a time where Shedeur Sanders was being talked about as the number 2 overall pick. It was a shock when he wasn't that. There is some talent there to his game. So that's why I have him over Willis, is that even though Willis will probably be better than him, if Shedeur comes good, there's a much higher ceiling with him than with Willis. He's got all these great weapons around him now. The offensive line has improved. It's not a terrible situation. The question is just how terrible quarterback is Sanders.
I'm higher than that, but we'll get
Okay.
to we will get to that. I will say I have watched some practices. He's looking good. I haven't seen a whole lot about Deshaun. I do think he will beat Deshaun. In my ranking, it's kind of Shador Deshaun combo is where I went with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of like I'm sorry, just to say real quick, that's kind of like last year when we were talking about Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson this time a year ago, where I was saying, like, you know what? If I just knew for sure that Daniel Jones would be the quarterback,
different story.
I'll move him way up the ranking. And then sure enough, that did happen, and I did move him way up the ranking.
So I have two teams that's kind of like it. It's kind of like a stack.
Yeah, I'm sure I know the other one.
My 31 will be Mr. Bryce Young.
Ooh.
I have him with 3,000 yards and 20 touchdowns. Here's the thing with the Panthers. I'm a big statistics guy.
Mm-hmm.
Since their inception, they have never went back-to-back playoff games.
Mm-hmm.
Ted, of course, is great. The running back situation, I don't know. Of course, we've heard glowing reviews about Mr. Brooks.
Yeah.
2 seasons gone. It's hard for me to go with that right now. I mean, I had to see more. I don't have a whole lot of faith in the Panthers this year at the quarterback position. What like you said, there is a ceiling, but this is where I'm coming from.
Yeah, it's just which Bryce Young do you get? We've seen some pretty good from Bryce Young, and we have seen some like worst in the NFL from Bryce Young.
Absolutely. So, okay.
Do you want me to say where I have him, or wait until we get to him in my rankings?
We can wait.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'll go with 30 now. My 30th ranked quarterback. Sorry, Evan, Mr. Tyler Shuck. I also have him with 3,000 yards and 21 touchdowns.
Wow.
We supposedly have a great offensive genius, Olave. We have Mr. Tyson, crazy trains rolling. I don't know. It's hard for me to trust the Saints. Just flat out from being around here. I know it's just hard.
Uriah and I might be traumatized from the years.
Yes.
I hear you, though. I hear you. I don't agree. Yeah, but I hear you.
Look, I figured there will be a lot of disagreements on things. So,
I'm sure it's coming.
So who do you have at 30?
So at 30, I'm actually surprised that I'm lower on this guy than you are. Fernando Mendoza is QB 30 for me. That's actually above consensus. He is consensus QB 31. I mean, look, I think there's a lot to like about Mendoza. I'm not 100% sure that he's going to be the starter week 1. I think there's a chance that Kirk Cousins is the starter to start for like 4 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's a part of it for me, moving him down. If you told me he is locked in 16, 17 weeks starter, then sure, I'd move him up a little bit. But even still, like it's not a great situation. We saw the disaster of that offensive line last year. And yes, the offensive line has improved, but their receiving core didn't really get any better. They still have Brock Bowers. He's awesome, of course, but it's not like this is a locked and loaded situation for a rookie quarterback. And there are growing pains for rookies, even though I do like Mendoza. So yeah, I'm just not eager to draft him. So he is QB 30 for me.
Yeah, I totally see where you're coming from, and I will bounce right off of that, and I will go into 29. I have the Raiders quarterback situation.
Just whoever. Okay.
Yes, I have. I really think it's probably going to be. I don't even know the Raiders bye. I figure worst case. They'll probably change at the bye. That's what I'm thinking. I have on total 3,200 yards and 22 touchdowns. And look, I could be totally wrong. Kirk Cousins could come out there and just blow the world up. I don't think it will happen. But once again, it's another one of Look, when I was making this, Foley, a lot of these quarterbacks have high ceilings. So
Yeah.
this is where I'm sticking the Raiders, but I totally agree with what you said.
And let me just read out a stretch of their schedule. Okay. I'm just going to read out their schedule. First 3 weeks, you can talk yourself into this not being so bad. Dolphins, Chargers, Saints. Fine. But then, starting in
interesting that you just said that, but we'll go into that later. So go ahead.
Starting in week 4, the Chiefs, then the Patriots, then the Bills, then the Monstars that are the Los Angeles Rams with Myles Garrett, maybe Aaron Donald.
Okay, so after that will be when Fernando starts.
That might be. Yeah, it might be that like after that. But then, okay, you got the Jets. That could be easy enough. But then 49ers with Bosa in them. Then the Seahawks. Then the Broncos. Then the Browns, who still have Jared Verse, right? They lost Garrett, but they do have Jared Verse now. Then the Chargers again. Then the Broncos again. That is a brutal schedule for a rookie quarterback. He's going up against a lot of really good defenses this year.
And that's also a brutal schedule for a quarterback who can't move anymore. So
yeah.
So So let's go 29. Who did you have for 29?
I have the early bird special, the senior citizen discount, Aaron Rodgers.
Shout out early bird.
R.I.P. early bird.
Yeah.
Yes, Aaron Rodgers is QB 29. What is there to say? He is ancient.
Wow, we are so far apart. I love this.
Really?
Yes. Go
you
ahead.
Think Mike McCarthy's going to reinvent 42-year-old Aaron Rodgers? Turn him into.
You go ahead.
Okay. I think what we know very well at this point that Aaron Rodgers, if he is going to be an above average quarterback at this point in his career, he needs someone who can force him to do things that he doesn't want to do. That's really been his whole career, right? When he was winning MVPs, it was because
McCarthy.
The guy after McCarthy is still there. The head coach of Green Bay.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. I can't think of his name either.
All I can think of is McVay, but it's McVay's friend. Anyways, he forced Rodgers to do things he did not want to do. He openly complained about how much he hates having to send receivers in motion and doing play action. He doesn't like doing those things. And guess what? They're really effective. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to run this really stale offense. That's why he went to New York with Nathaniel Hackett, who just let him do what he wanted, and it sucked. And then, okay, he goes to Pittsburgh. He doesn't do much that he doesn't want to. It's a bunch of checkdowns to Ken Gainwell 15 times a game, and it sucked. He's a stubborn old man who doesn't want to run a modern offense. He wants things to run the way they did in 1997, and it's not like he has the wheels that he used to. He's not mobile. I just don't know what we're getting out of him. Yes, he got Michael Pittman, but I don't think McCarthy is going to push him to be the best version of himself, whatever that is at age 42.
Okay. All right. Let's go number 28, sir.
I'm surprised this is not the second QB room you have, but for me, it's Tua Tagovailoa. And of course, Michael Penix is his backup there, or his competition for the job. Sounds like Tua is going to get it. I'm out on Tua. There's still a chance that, yes, Tua could look really good in this system. I guess I'm not as out on Tua as I thought. He's consensus 30, so I'm ahead of consensus on him, but not by much. I don't believe in Tua. Makes me concerned for what's going to happen to my boy Michael Penix this year. Not Mike Penix, Kyle Pitts.
It's like, wow, I thought we didn't like left-handers.
No, I don't. I sure don't. Kyle Pitts. I'm concerned. What does this do to Kyle Pitts? Can I take him number 1 overall if he's got Tua throwing him the ball? Tua should retire is my feeling, but he could prove me wrong. I couldn't put him any lower than 28, but I'm not excited about it.
Okay. My number 28 would be Mr. Shedeur Sanders. And also, once again, this is going to be one of those 1A, 1B situations. Yeah. We don't know, but I just said Shedeur's because I do think he will start the first part of the season just on what I've seen. I have him with 3,300 yards and 20 touchdowns. So once again, it's not great, not great, but
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're into the 3,000 range anyway.
That's right.
something.
That's right.
And he does look. He really does have some good weapons around him.
He does.
Like I said, if you could guarantee me he's the starter all 16, 17 weeks, he would be high. He would be more like where you have him, maybe even a touch higher than that.
Yeah.
I just am uncomfortable with the competition he's got going there with Watson. And guys, just for our listeners who might be like, oh, when are we going to get to the good quarterbacks? When we're just all this boring, everyone's just agreeing that these guys basically suck. I will just let everyone know we are a few picks away from me getting into some really spicy takes of people are going to be shocked at how low I have some of these guys.
And you're going to be shocked at how high I have some of these guys.
Okay.
So let's go with number 27.
This one's probably not a big shock, though. Jacoby Brissett, who,
ding, ding,
look,
ding.
I love Jacoby. Ding, ding, ding. That who you have 27 at 12. So I'll let you go first then. What's your take on?
Oh, it's the same thing. I got Jacoby Brissett, 3,200 yards and 21 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Dumpster fire.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just a bad situation. It really is. You have former first round picks. They're supposed to be great. They never panned out. Is it because of the coaching situation? We don't know. Once again, it could be one of these things where he is number 27 or he could be number 15. He has weapons.
He does. Trey McBride and Michael Wilson. I'm kind of out on Marvin Harrison Jr. I think that dude's just.
I get it.
I mean, I hate it for the kid. Like he clearly is like mentally struggling. But he's a bust at this point. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah.
So that's part of the calculus. A couple things on Jacoby. First of all, again, the Cardinals have such a brutal schedule.
Yes.
Theirs is just about as bad as the Dolphins' schedule. I think their line is better than the Dolphins, but only marginally. They do have better weapons for sure. That's why he's not as low as Malik Willis is for me. But also, Jacoby did very, very well last year because that coach was letting him air it out. He was throwing the ball 40 times a game. I don't see that happening here. They're going to run the more.
Yeah.
And so Jacoby's just not going to have the same opportunities to just rack up these gaudy numbers. When he's going against, I'm just going to read out the schedule very, very fast. Chargers, Seahawks, 49ers, Giants, Lions, Rams, Broncos, Cowboys, Seahawks, Rams, Chiefs, Commanders, Eagles, Jets, Saints, Raiders, 49ers. I mean they're going to play the Rams twice. That alone.
They could be like 0-5, 0-6 starting. It's really, it's not a good situation. I'm like you. I believe running, dumping it off to Trey, Wilson on curls, outs.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, nickel and diamond. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. So nothing to get excited about there. We go to 26.
Hit it, man.
And this is like Malik Willis. He is a candidate for Geno Smith of the Year. He's not my favorite to win it, but he is a candidate for the Geno Smith of the Year award. It is Geno Smith.
Ding, ding, ding. We're back on track.
We are. We're aligned right now, which kind of makes for a boring podcast if we agree so much. That'll change soon. Don't worry,
absolutely.
Guys. We're getting there. We're getting to the differences.
But all I was going to say. Well, go ahead.
I think there is a world where Geno Smith can be pretty good.
Yeah,
I can easily talk myself into. We saw 3 good to very good years in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Under different systems, he looked good to very good. And then he went to Vegas, and it was like he was before he ever got to Seattle. It was awful. It was so bad that it's hard to just blame it on Geno, right?
Yeah.
It felt like he's a better quarterback than this at this point in his career. Did he really fall off that hard, or was it just the bad coaching and bad offensive line and all that stuff? And if that's even possible, then you put him in New York where he's got a potentially good coach. He's got a lot of weapons, right? He's got Garrett Wilson. He's got the kid from Indiana, Omar Cooper. He's got the Kenyon Sadiq. So, like, he's got weapons to throw to and a good running back. I'm never going to be high on the Jets. Don't get me wrong,
and the defense doesn't look that bad.
No, it doesn't.
So,
I think there's room for it. So, I mean, consensus has him 28. I have him 26. and he could surprise some people, or it could be that last year is just what he is now. That's why I don't have him higher, but he could really have a comeback and
So
be Geno Smith of the year again.
yes, so I got Geno with 3,200 yards and 21 touchdowns. I, honestly, I feel like Geno and Jacoby are in the same situation. It's
Yeah.
kind of a bleak one, but that's where it's at.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they belong right next to each other.
Yes, let's bounce up to 25. This will shock you, my friend.
Well, I know we're going to be different here. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, this is going to shock you. I have Mr. Brock Purdy coming in at 25.
Oh, man, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah, got you. I'm saying 3,500 yards, 25 TDs, 200 on the ground, and three TDs on the ground rushing.
Is that because of the station?
I'm it's got a lot to do with it, which, like, his receivers,
yeah.
Mr. McCaffrey is going to get half of all that. So
yeah,
I just don't have a whole lot of confidence. I like him. I do like Purdy. I'm worried about the wide receiver room. I'm worried about a gimpy tight end. I feel like the only weapon you have on that team is McCaffrey, and he's going to get his points. So, yeah.
I know he's banged up right now, but you do have can't guard Mike Evans.
You have a old Mike Evans and a old Debo Smith and a old George Kittle.
So yeah, I have Purdy higher. I will talk to him. I have some agreement with you and some disagreement on that, but I'll come back to him. My 25, you've already talked about him, is Bryce Young. Yeah, it's just it's weird. This is his 4th year in the NFL, and he still feels like a mystery box. He could be. I don't think he's ever going to be a top tier quarterback.
No.
To be clear, I mean, that's just not in the range of outcomes for Tiny Tim there. But I mean, he's so small. He's so he's like the size of a Labubu.
Wow. Look, that it's you can't go lose all these games and then win the last 6 and be great. That's
yeah. But he's kind of done that 2 years in a row where he's like suck. Oh, suddenly he looks really good.
Yeah, I can't trust that.
No, I can't either. He could pull it all together. I think if you're in a super flex, he can beat your QB3. Sure, absolutely he can, but not more than that. So he's consensus 26, and I have him 25.
Okay,
but not exciting.
All right, guys, this is where it's fixing to get juicy.
Yes, it is. So, oh my God, if we agree on 24, my mind will be blown.
We will not agree on 24. I can go ahead and say there's no way that you took this guy at number 24, so go with it.
I have Jared Goff. Oh, didn't see that coming, did you?
Wow. Okay, wow. I'm really stunned.
Yeah.
Go into it, please, because I am so look, this is me scrolling up to find Goff. So go ahead. Yeah.
Look, I'm probably being too harsh on him. First of all, the Foley model really does value quarterbacks who at least are capable of running, who do sometimes leave the pocket. So that's not Goff.
So just so all our new listeners know, that would be Foleyetics. So go ahead.
That's right. It's a championship winning model for player evaluation. It just Goff does not leave the pocket, and he's going to get penalized for that, right? Like I am looking at his mobility score on my model right now. It's a 0.
Wow, that's like Aaron Rodgers, and so go ahead. Wow.
Yeah, I mean I'll just say like the highest mobility score anyone has is Josh Allen with a 27. Jared Goff is a 0. So just to put it in perspective, the good thing about Goff, though, the very good thing about Goff is that he doesn't get hurt much.
Yeah.
He has been as consistent, honestly, as anyone in the NFL in terms of staying on the field, and so I love that for him. And he's got some good weapons, but there's been a lot of turnover on the offensive coordinator side. and I'm not sure that who they have in there now is going to work. There is a chance actually where it's great because it's the guy who was Jacoby's coordinator last year who had him airing it out. So maybe they're just going to have Goff throwing it 40 times a game. But giving the money that that they're about to put up to Jahmyr Gibbs,
They
I don't see it actually happening.
they just did it. So
They did it,
yeah.
yeah. I had to pause. I couldn't remember. Did he get the contract or not? So I don't think that this is going to be a situation where Goff gets to throw 40 times a game like Jacoby did last year. And what that leaves is you've got some question marks on offensive line still. And I'm a Lions fan, just so everyone knows. So that's also part of it. I'm just down on people that I like, on teams that I like always. I'm pessimistic about the teams that I like. But it's I don't think these are quite the same Lions from 2 years ago. And so when you can't add anything with your mobility on top of that, again, I think I'm being too harsh. Before we get to the season, I will probably move up Goff some from 24, but not a ton because I'm just concerned. I don't think I like shooting for the sky. I don't like the safe picks very much at quarterback. I want guys who can win you leagues, and I don't really see Jared Goff as a league winner.
Okay, wow. So we are fixing to take top, bottom, and flip it up. I'm going with at my number 24, Mr. Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. I'll spoiler alert, he's my 23.
So I have Stafford with 3,500 and 27 TDs. I am predicting, look, I know all the models. I don't know what consensus is. I have literally not looked at any fantasy football lists just so I didn't want to skew my list. And I think that's kind of important. But I just see a big regression.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, I think everybody on the team will regress. And I don't know if that's going to be for the good. They still may be a top West team, but I still think the numbers will come down. So
yeah, I mean, look, I think the Rams are the best team in the NFL. I will. Let's get that out of the way. I think what they've done on defense now, long term, I think they're setting themselves up for some problems. But
they've been here, done that. So
yeah, in the short term, though, I think they are on paper the best team in the NFL. But a lot of that's because of the work they've done on defense.
Yeah.
But yes, Stafford is the reigning MVP. We have to acknowledge that. But I agree with you. I think there's some regression due on the offensive side of the ball. What I will say is Stafford, first of all, most importantly, is like 37 years old, right?
Yeah, bad back.
And this time a year ago, we were like, is he even good? Yeah. I was speculating that he might retire before the season starts because of his back. He had a great year. I looked stupid for saying that, but he's only a year older with this bad back. He could just get broken at any moment. And on top of that, and like he could lose his arm. Stafford has been streaky his entire career, including his time with the Rams. Yes, he was MVP caliber last year. Year before that, he didn't look great. People forget. He did not look great the year before. He's kind of in this situation where in even years, he's not great. He's like average. And then on odd years, he's really, really good. That's been his trend, at least since he went to Los Angeles. And then on top of that, two things. You look at the receiving core, it's very, very good, but Puka Nacua has these off-field distractions going on, and Devontae Adams is another year older. I think Devontae Adams is one of the best receivers of his generation,
but
he's getting up. Yeah. There's buts on all of these.
And then also the whole running back, they have two great running backs. Mm-hmm. And this will go to another episode, but the running back situation, I would predict that both running backs will almost have identical things. Like, they'll both have 800. They'll both have 10 touchdowns. That's what I see.
That's how it was down the stretch last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
But piggybacking on the running back thing, like the other thing that I think works against Stafford this year, and I'm a Stafford fan, right? I love Matthew Stafford, but the other thing working against him is because they have built the Avengers on defense, right? Where they have Myles Garrett and they got Trent McDuffie, and maybe they're going to bring in Aaron Donald, bring him back, right? Like it's this defense is insane. But that also means that Stafford just won't have to do as much. The offense won't be asked to do as much. They're not going to be getting into shootouts if they have the best defense in the NFL.
Yeah, think Trent Dilfer with the Ravens.
Yeah.
Now, of course, he's better than Trent Dilfer. I'm just saying, it's when you're not asked for that much, you run the rock and you dink and dunk and you win the game.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Stafford is consensus 15. I have him 23. Goff is consensus 26. Consensus 16. I have them 24. I have them right next to each other, but just way lower than on consensus.
All right. So since you've already kind of went in with Stafford, is it okay if I just tell you my 23rd?
Please.
My 23rd will be Mr. Tua Tagovailoa. I have him with 3,400 yards and 25 TDs. Where I'm coming with this is, one, he has Bijan. Let's just be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Two, he has Drake London, Mr. Kyle Pitts. I think as long, and look, like I said, I've watched some of his training camp, and dude is just throwing dimes. Now, I know this is training camp, but I'm also, I do things with my eyes. I saw him doing that. Once again, he could be 15, he could be 32, but I do like him this year with the Falcons as long as he has the reins.
Yeah.
I am afraid there will be a short leash on him.
Yeah, I think there will.
And that's going to be the issue. But once again, I would also say Tua Tag / Penix in that situation.
That was when you said you had another like QB room, I wasn't thinking Raiders. I was thinking Falcons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's a little wild to have Tua ahead of Brock Purdy.
Hey,
and you know, I'm not a Brock Purdy fan.
I know, man, but I'm taking my shot this year.
Okay. I mean, hey, I respect it. Look, it's not like we're talking about these guys as top half quarterbacks. Half of quarterbacks. We're still in the 20s here.
Dude, like from like 18 and down, it's like this could be a big jumble, and
I'm so excited to get to 20. I know we've still got a couple more spots, but I'm just so excited to get to 20.
All right, so I said 23. You did 23. Go with 22.
All right, 22 is the reigning Super Bowl champion, Sam Darnold.
Oh, wow.
Who is like, I feel like we might all be sleeping on Sam Darnold a little bit. I'll admit it. Well, consensus has him 23, and I've got him at 22. The highest I've seen him ranked most places is 20.
Wow. I'm crazy then.
Yeah, you might be crazy.
Nuts, so
you might be a little bit. So my thing with Darnold is, as people know, I've always been skeptical of him. I've always waited for him to turn back into a pumpkin. Last year impressed me. No way around it. I was so impressed by what he did last year from start to finish. Like, he bounced back from his rough games. His year in Minnesota, he did implode at the end. People forget he fell apart at the end. So if he has another good year this year, okay, I'll be bought in. He'll never be outside my top 10 again. But until then, what he has working against him is he just lost his guru offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Clint Kubiak's gone. What's next? I don't like it when a quarterback loses his coordinator. And we don't really know. I don't know much about the guy who's replacing Kubiak. Sure, he's like a disciple of Kubiak, but it isn't going to be the same. They lost Ken Walker for whatever that's worth. I also think that Seattle, not just Darnold, but Seattle's offense as a whole, was playing a little bit above their heads last year. They weren't as good as they looked. I love Jackson Smith and Jigba. I'm not sure that he is as good as he looked last year, as someone who had him QB1 in his draft class, right? Someone who said, hey, he's not just a slot receiver. He can play on the outside. I still don't think he's that good. He looked like Tyreek Hill last year, and I'm not sure that that's real. I think some of it was, I hate to say fluky for someone that I like, but it was a little bit fluky. So I think there's just going to be a lot of regression for Seattle in general, and that's why I have Sam Darnold where I have him, QB 22. No shade. I will admit that I could look really stupid for this.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. I will say this. My number 22 would be Mr. Jackson Dart, the trash man himself.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I'm calling him out. But saying that, I have 3,700 yards, 21 TDs, 350 rushing yards, and 5 rushing TDs. So I have no faith in the Giants this year. Zero. Absolutely. I mean, they're right there with the Dolphins in my mind. But saying that, he does have some weapons? Question mark. Once again,
Like Odell Beckham.
Yeah,
he has Odell Beckham Jr. How can he go wrong?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I don't have a whole lot to say. I mean, I don't like the wide receivers. I don't like the running backs. Don't really like anything on the offense. Probably should have him lower, but I think his rushing makes him move higher. So
I'm so tempted to make a comment that I should probably keep to myself.
So just hold on till you get to yours.
Oh no, it's about your analysis, not mine.
Go ahead. Say it.
Uriah just hates on New York because he's got a problem with their mayor.
What? That is so bad. That's just terrible that you would say that.
Should I give my 21?
Yeah, go for it. I'm sorry. My son is texting me, so that's why I'm like, he's called me like 30 times, so that's the reason I'm in it.
Well, I hope everything's okay.
Yeah.
I'll fill some dead air while Uriah is being a bad host. Jordan Love is my QB 21. He's consensus 19. I feel like I'm going to end up moving Love down a little bit more, mostly because of his offensive line. It was not great last year. He obviously got hurt last year, got hurt the year before as well. So he's building up a little bit of an injury history behind a bad offensive line that is getting worse. I think their offensive line will be worse this year than it was last year. That's the main reason. I think Love is a pretty talented quarterback, but I'm just skeptical that he's going to be able to escape pressure a ton. I think he's just going to take a ton of sacks and potentially get hurt again because of how many sacks he's taking. Not to mention, we don't love Romeo Doubs, but that's one fewer weapon in this room of he doesn't have a wide receiver 1. He has a bunch of wide receiver 2s. Well, now he has one fewer wide receiver 2 than he has for the last couple of years.
And what number was that for you?
That was 21.
So once again, ding, ding, ding. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I'm right there with you, man. Jordan Love, I got 3,600 yards, 26 TDs. Who's catching the ball there? We don't know. Is Mr. Jacobs, is he playing? Is he not playing? Is he in the jail? Not in the jail? We don't know. Tucker Kraft, is his bionic knee working? We don't know. Once again, he could be way up there. He could be way lower.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I totally agree with your assessment also. So,
all right. Well, guess what? We're not going to agree on 20. I just can't imagine we agree.
We might go.
I'm so excited.
Look, I'm so shocked. What were we, 3 or 4 that we've agreed on?
Yeah, there have been 3 or 4 that we've agreed on. Something like that. Yeah,
I was not expecting that. So go ahead.
There's no way, because let me just say, the QB that I have at 20, consensus has him as QB 4. I am issuing a consumer recall.
Wow, I feel like I need like one of those siren buttons over here that I can press. Go ahead.
There is a whatever bacteria outbreak. Consumer recall has been issued.
He's lettuce.
On Joe Burrow.
What? Wow. Waiting for this explanation. Are you expecting him to get in a car crash or something?
I'm expecting him to get injured again. I think he has the body of a car crash victim.
But this is the odd year, so he plays in the odd years. It's the even. It's every other year. It's just like Dak Prescott. Every other year he gets hurt. But go ahead.
He gets hurt every year, and I'm out. Like, look, he has a great supporting cast. He has the best receiving duo in the NFL. Absolutely. When he's on the field, he's gonna be in shootouts, and he's gonna be awesome. I am just, it's another one of those. I don't think he's literally the 21st worst quarterback in the NFL. I think he is better than that, but it is me moving him off of my board because I cannot deal with the injury risk that comes with him. I try not to be someone who knocks people for past injuries because it's not always a predictor, but in his case, it's just happened so many times, I'm out.
Okay, I have a really good question, and this is like, no shade, no nothing. you're in the draft. You're in our super draft.
Yeah.
4th round. Joe Burrow's still there. You're not taking him?
No.
Look, this is me pulling the flag, calling BS. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, Foley. There's no way. There's no way you're passing on Joe in a low round. Like, I mean,
to our league mates. I mean, look, if there are 19 other quarterbacks who have been taken, the correct 19 have been taken, then yes, I will take Joe Burrow at that point.
Please, everybody in the chat, in our chat, just call it BS. Tell him he's wrong.
I will say, like, I'm not doing this yet. There is the highest I can bring him up to would be 12.
Okay.
I will not bring him higher than QB 12 because I'm just the injuries have stacked up too much. I have zero faith that he can play a full season.
Okay.
And yeah, I hate to say it because he's a talented quarterback, but I think there are a lot of talented quarterbacks who have less of an injury risk at this point.
All right. So I will move into my number 20. And once again, this is probably going to shock you. I have Mr. Bo Nix coming in at 20. I have him with 3,600 yards and 26 touchdowns and 400 yards rushing and 5 rushing touchdowns. I want to be higher. I will come out and say that. I think the addition of Waddle, Bryant another year, Sutton another year, I feel like it can be good.
Mm-hmm.
So me saying him at 20 would be my floor for him, honestly. But this is where I got him. He is a good quarterback. He's probably going to have a great year. But like I said, this is the floor for me.
Is any of that because he's coming off the ACL?
A smidge. Yeah. That's yeah.
Yeah.
That's the word.
I don't agree. But I guess I can. I strongly disagree. In fact,
and look, you're probably right. I will say this. I'm probably wrong, but
yeah,
like I said, this is the floor, and this is where I got him at.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But to our listeners, do listen to the ones where you're right and I agree. Because if we both feel something, take that shit to the bank. Excuse my language here. That just slipped out.
So we'll move. So that was 20. Let's go to 19. And this one might shock you. This might shock you too. 19, I have Mr. Lamar Jackson.
Oh, God.
Yes, I got Lamar with 3,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, 600 yards rushing, which is a lot more than last year, and 4 TDs. The Ravens, look, the quarterback is exceptional. I can't bet against Henry. If you've listened to the podcast, you know how every year we're like, this is the year. It just keeps going and keeps going. So I can't rule him out. The thing I can rule out is Likely's gone, and I trust 0 wide receivers in that room. 0. They just gave
us $35 million, Zay Flowers.
They just gave the bag to Zay Flowers. How does he command that much money?
It's ridiculous.
Whole nother thing, but great quarterback, great runner. They lost their center, which is going to have a lot to do. Their defense is probably going to be right up there with the Rams. Hendrickson, Madu is back. Roquan, I mean, you could go levels with their defense. Great defense. I don't trust the wide receivers. That's why he's coming in this low. Once again, probably the floor.
Yeah. I'll save my response, but I understand where you're coming from. Clearly, he is your Joe Burrow. I disagree, but let me ask you this, though. Okay. Lamar Jackson's there in the 4th round. You're not taking him?
Oh, I'm taking him. Absolutely. I'm not going to lie.
So he's not. Well, so you're not honest.
No. This is what I'm saying. On some of these quarterbacks, especially like probably 20 and up, some of these guys I'm putting them. That's where their floor is.
Yeah.
Could they be great? Yes, absolutely. At the most, Lamar Jackson would be my number 2 superflex quarterback. At the most.
Okay.
So I think that should. I don't know.
Okay. If you say so, boss.
Be quiet with your Joe Burrow. I don't want to hear it. Go ahead. Move to number 19.
Look, my 19's a little bit controversial. It's not as controversial as the Joe Burrow thing, but Trevor Lawrence, I I I need to see him back up what he did. And I was high on Lawrence last year,
You
and he
were.
did it. I was so high on Trevor Lawrence, and he proved me right. So it's weird for me to be lower on him this year.
I'm shocked at this one.
And it is weird. I feel weird saying it. This is one where I might just feel like a big dumb idiot later on.
So
But there's something I don't know. I
let,
don't trust Brian Thomas Jr.
let me ask you this. Would this be sort of like where I'm coming from? This would be the floor?
Yeah, this is more of a floor pick. You're right. I just think his floor is a lot more likely than his
Okay.
ceiling
Okay.
this year is really where I'm coming from. He does have a lights out ceiling for sure. I just don't think he's going to hit it. We've, I've always been the Lawrence apologist here. And this could be it. This could be the real, like, Trevor Lawrence is a top 8 quarterback in the NFL, top 6 quarterback in the NFL. I think mostly they just didn't improve their receiving room,
Yeah.
and I really wanted them to. It all worked very, very well last year, but I don't trust another year of Brian Thomas Jr., Parker Washington, and Jacoby Myers. I want more than that from a guy that I'm taking as high as Trevor Lawrence is going. He's QB9. If I'm taking a top 10 QB, I want them to have a good receiving core, and he just doesn't.
God.
Or if they don't have a great receiving core, there
Yeah.
are a couple guys who it's not amazing, but they're such good runners that they can make up for it. And I just don't feel that at all with Trevor Lawrence. So I'm
You out.
I'm not quite out, but I'm very close to out.
All right. So 18. Hit it.
You've mentioned him already. I've got a buyer beware on Jackson Dart. Yes, he's crazy athletic. Yes, that's good for fantasy. I've talked about how I do like runners for fantasy, but huge concussion risk there.
You,
I think there's some name brand propping him up. He's consensus
yes.
12. I don't see him as a top 12 fantasy quarterback with his injury history. The guy got tested for concussions 3 times last year.
Well, you can't run into people. You have to go
Exactly.
out of bounds.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't know that I trust. I trust their head coach. I think Harbaugh is a very good coach, but their offensive coordinator is Matt Nagy, and that doesn't feel great to me. Matt
Yeah.
Nagy is not done. Well, Matt Nagy went to Patrick Mahomes and made the worst version of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to buy into that being a good offensive coordinator. So yeah, Dart, he is what he is. He's QB 18 for me, QB 9. No, excuse me, he's QB 12 on consensus. Buyer beware. He's not a full consumer recall, but be careful.
Yeah, he's lettuce for me. I will go, and I'm surprised I haven't had any pushback. If you're a longtime listener, if you're from our league, you should know this. But 18, Mr. Kyler Murray.
There he is.
Yes, I know.
There he is.
Yes, it's a shock. 3,600 yards, 27 TDs, 500 yards rushing with 4 rushing TDs. Once again, we've said it on the pod before. If Foley could get out, James could get out there and throw the ball to JJ and everybody else and probably win the MVP.
And yet, J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz could not last year.
That should tell you everything you need to know. Once again, the Oompa Loompa, I don't have a whole lot of trust in him, but once the head coach, the people around him, I just don't see it going that bad. I think he's definitely will be, once again, this could be the floor. I don't think it is. Could be though.
Yeah, no, I like Kyler kind of sort of this year. I'll talk more about him when I get to him, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
And I don't think either of us expected to like him as much as
No, I did. You know my feelings toward him. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
So we're at number 17. Do you want to go or is it mine?
Yeah,
Okay,
I can go 17. You mentioned him already, Tyler Shuck. I think it's a really good situation for him. There is just still a question of, is he a good quarterback?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't either.
He looked pretty good last year, but small sample sizes, that can happen sometimes. Can he back up what he did last year? That's the question. But I think it's undeniably a very good situation that he's in with a pretty good, like decent offensive line. He he had decent weapons last year with Olave leading the way and finally being healthy, but now they add in Jordan Tyson on top of that. And I know you kind of mock like the guru thing, but he's a good coach.
I wasn't really mocking him. I mean, we hadn't seen it. We haven't seen it yet. Kind of.
Well, you've seen him coach a lot of. He got the best out of Dak Prescott. He got a very good version of Justin.
I'm talking about on the Saints. That's what I'm talking about.
He did pretty good last year, and he did it. He got the best out of Jalen Hurts. I think he's proven enough for me to just trust that he can run an offense well. So I mean, we're getting pretty much right smack dab middle here, but yeah, Tyler Shuck is QB 17 for me. I think mystery box, a little bit of a mystery box in terms of what he is, but he's got all the environment to work with that you would want him to have.
Okay, my number 17. And I hope I'm wrong, Mr. Jaden Daniels. I have him with 3,300 yards, 25 TDs, 500 yards rushing, and 5 TDs. The added Diggs, McLaurin's supposed to be better. The running back situation, I don't really know if I'm crazy about Bill. Tight end situation, the defense, but he is just so daggum good. So, I hope he does better. But I feel like this is a good landing spot for him.
Yeah, I'll just say now, I'll get more into him in a little bit. I am higher on Jaden Daniels than you are, but I don't feel good about it. And where you have him, I would feel better about. And there's a degree to which, like, I only have him as high as I do because I wanted to leave some room for me to be wrong. And like a consensus has him. There's a certain point where you just can't drop him any further without being insane.
What's consensus?
Consensus has him 5.
Wow.
So I don't have him that high, obviously, but I couldn't bring him as far down as I wanted.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though I did that to Joe Burrow, to be fair.
Okay. Let's go to 16, and this one will probably shock you, Mr. Drake May.
Oh.
3,500 yards and 30 TDs. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I'm sorry I had to say it once again. Love Drake May. Love him. I'm just a little worried. I'm worried about regression. I'm worried about the wide receiver. Do I think they will rise to the occasion? Yes, but I can't bank my season on a what if. So that would be my problem with them is the wide receiver room and the ongoing saga with running back situation.
Yeah. I think this is a good moment to pause here. I was going to say this at the top, but we're going from the bottom up. So I want to just say I feel this way. I don't know if you feel this way. There is a bigger drop between QB1 and everyone else than I can remember in a long time. Like QB1 is very much interior of his own, and we'll talk about him later. I'm sure I hope we have the same one, but there's just like QB2 through the rest.
Yeah,
there are question marks.
Yeah,
more so than past years.
Well, I mean, like I said, we'll get into it, but it's like you said, man. Like 2 to like 20 is just so like one team is going to blow up, and
you can shuffle them.
Yeah, and so. Yeah, that's the reason I'm not really like shocked on something. I was shocked about the you threw me off on that one, but I get it.
Yeah.
So who do you
have? I give 16?
No, who do you have? That's 16 for Drake. So who did you have?
Mac Jones, aka Brock Purdy.
You got to say West Coast Mac Jones.
West Coast Mac Jones. I mean, this is the perfect QB 16. He's perfectly in the middle. Here's my biggest thing. I'm actually a little bit down on the West Coast system this year. I might be a year early, but I think we are very soon about to get to this point where defenses are just getting better at. Defenses want you to dink and dunk. Absolutely. That is what they want you to do right now. It's not always been the case. Sometimes they've been, hey, we are going to stop the dink and dunk, and if you beat us deep, fine, we can accept that. Right now, defenses want you to dink and dunk, and they're going to keep you from scoring touchdowns. So But that's what Brock Purdy does, right? He's a dink and dunker. Not even saying that in a derogatory way.
He
It's
does
just
it.
the reality of it.
He does it well.
He does it very well.
Yeah.
And I think despite the injuries, he does still have good weapons. Mike Evans, Dejon Stribling, and I'm forgetting at least one. Well, Christian McCaffrey, of course, but I'm forgetting at least one wide receiver, I think.
You're talking about the famous the prodigal son returned.
The prodigal son did return, Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
So like, he has weapons, is
Yeah.
my point. Despite the injuries, he does still have good weapons around him. But I'm just a little concerned that this is the year where the air ball returns, and that means the guys who have a good deep ball are gonna be more valuable. And we'll see in my top 3, they're all guys who air it out.
Yes,
and
they are.
a lot in my top 10 who air it out, because that is what I think is really, I just kind of want to be ahead on this. I think that's where it's going. So I can't have Purdy higher than 16 for me because that's just not in his bag. So yeah, there you go.
All right, let's go 15. Go ahead.
Dak Prescott.
Wow. Okay.
He's consensus 11. And by the way, Purdy's consensus 11. Dak is consensus 10. I know I'm a little.
I'm sorry. Purdy's 11 consensus.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yep. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, people really like Purdy this year. People really do.
Man, they okay.
I know I'm low on Dak. I feel like I'm low on Dak. I feel like I'm probably going to end up moving Dak before the.
You are.
I'm going to move him up. I'm going to bump him up because I can really talk myself into him this year. I'm low on him every year, but
it's so easy to talk yourself. It's easy. Go ahead.
I'm not going to take him all the way to 6, but I could almost talk myself into taking him all the way to 6. I think there is a world where with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, this could be the best offense in the NFC. I'm not quite buying it because Dak has rarely, I know he had one year where he was almost MVP, but I don't really buy Dak as being that level of good, but I think he can be a very good quarterback. He does have some injury history that always worries me. It's not crazy. It's not like Joe Burrow's injury history or anything, but he does have some injuries. You said the off year thing. This is the year where he would get hurt.
I know. I know.
Yeah. So that worries me at least a little bit. But he has such a good environment around him. He has such good weapons. Pretty good, not great offensive line. Like I said, I have him 15 now. I might bump him up to 10 by the time things are all said and done.
All right. I'm fixing to go way off. Number 15, Mr. Aaron Rodgers.
God, that is insane that you have him this high.
Yeah, hey, here we go. 3,700 yards and 27 TDs. Let me tell you something, my friend. The Steelers is the team to watch this year in the North. The North, not the North. What is it?
Yeah,
the North. Okay. North. Yes. Pittman, go, go, go. DK, go, go, go. The running back, go, go, go. Tight end, go, go, go. Everybody's going. Mike McCarthy's there. They done hooked back up. Aaron Rodgers will have a stellar year this year.
On his farewell tour?
Period. Yes. On his farewell tour, he will go out in a blaze of glory. I'm calling it. Hey, look, it's there. It's on tape.
How funny is it to have your farewell tour with the head coach that you got fired? You told everyone you couldn't work with Mike McCarthy anymore and got him fired.
And you're back.
And yeah, for your one last go round, who are you doing it with? I think you're crazy.
Hey.
I think that is crazier than me. How low I have Joe Burrow for Aaron Rodgers to be that high. Let me just see what the highest any of the experts I checked.
You mean the bums? The bums?
Yeah, the bums. The highest I think anyone has him ranked is like 25.
Hey,
no, 21. The highest anyone on the consensus board has him ranked is 21.
Well, if you can get him at 25, take him. Take him. So
he's 29 for me, but you do you. Please take him there.
I will take him. Let's go number 14, Mr. Jalen Hurts. 3,300 yards, 22 TDs. The only thing that's going to save him is the 500 rushing yards and the 8 TDs. Zero faith. You hear me? Zero faith in the Eagles offense this year. It's besides the tush push. I mean, stay away from him. That's just what I'm going to say. Yes, he is at 14, but you can have him at 14. I don't want him at 14.
I understand. I am much, much higher on him, but I can talk myself into getting not quite that low, but I can talk myself into getting him pretty low.
Yeah. So go ahead with your 14.
I think what everyone's learning here is that I'm not really locked in with these rankings yet. I've still got more work to do.
So locked in.
This is just first draft rankings, and I have a lot of the people I don't feel good about where they are. Like this guy, who I'm really tempted to move down, and that is CJ Stroud.
Wow. Okay.
I have him at 14. I'm surprised you have him any higher than 14. He is consensus. Yeah, no, that's right. He's consensus 22, Uriah.
Who? Who? CJ?
CJ Stroud is consensus 22.
He's not my number 22.
He was so bad down the stretch last year. And we've seen him get worse every year of his pro career. I'm really worried. But I still the reason I have him as high as I do is that his injuries have been minimal, not non-existent. He missed some time last year, obviously, but he's over 3 seasons put up 10,000 yards. That's kind of a threshold for me. Is in a if you can get 10,000 yards in 3 seasons, I'm not concerned about your production.
Yeah.
He has pretty good weapons. If Tank Dell can come back, I think that's great. He is back to practicing. God bless him. But I mean, Stroud still has this high-end potential, very high-end potential. But I am so worried that the last thing we saw is just what he is now. I think his confidence is shot. And for a quarterback, you need someone who is really, really confident. I'm not sure that Davis Mills isn't a better quarterback than CJ Stroud.
Really? No.
He looked sometimes last year.
No,
There were people, there were Texans fans in that last playoff game. There were against the Patriots. Texans fans were ready to put in Davis Mills at halftime.
Well, they're idiots too. Then
I don't disagree with them. He was that bad.
No,
and I think his confidence is. But again, if I thought he was terrible, I'd have him way lower.
Yeah.
I'd have 22. There is still potential there, but there's also a lot of risk if you're taking this guy that he is just not what he was his rookie year anymore.
Okay. What was that? 13?
That was 14.
14. Okay. So 13. Hit it.
13 is Kyler Murray for me. I think he will win my Geno Smith of the Year award. So for people who don't know the Geno Smith of the Year thing, here's the run we have been on, and this streak will eventually end.
Yes,
but it is a real trend for now. We had Geno Smith, who has been awful for so long. He went to Seattle and was suddenly pretty good. The next year, Baker Mayfield had gotten run out of Cleveland, had a bad last year in Cleveland, went to Carolina, was awful, so bad that they just kicked him to the curb, sent him to the Rams for a few games as a fourth string quarterback. I mean, he played because they were all hurt, but he was essentially a fourth string quarterback in Los Angeles. And then he comes to the Buccaneers to replace Tom freaking Brady and was really good.
Yeah.
And then the next year, Sam Darnold, who had been terrible his entire career, goes to Minnesota and mostly looks really, really good. And then the most recent year, Daniel Jones got run out of New York, ended up being a backup in Minnesota, and then he comes to Indianapolis, beats Anthony Richardson for the job, and looks really, really good. So we're on this trend of these veteran reclamation projects, right? And I think Kyler Murray is the most likely one to keep that trend going. I feel like I might move Kyler down a little bit before the end of the year, or before the end of the preseason, because I said on this podcast during the offseason, I am out on Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
I can't do it with him anymore. He's too inconsistent. He can't get on the same page with his receivers. I'm done with him. But then he goes into this, everything you said earlier, right? This great system with these great receivers. It's hard not to buy in. I think about when Josh Dobbs was there and what Josh Dobbs looked like in this offense. It's so tempting. And so I have him QB 13. Consensus has him QB 17. I'm probably going to keep him right where I am. 13 feels right for him. High risk, high reward.
Yeah.
That's what you've got with Kyler.
Absolutely. I feel like in saying that, if you take Kyler at there or where you take me, have a backup, have a very, and I wouldn't say like, have a safe backup.
Have a Brock Purdy.
Yes, that sounds great. Now, look, you haven't hit there, and I'm so proud to hear that you haven't because I thought I would be the person planting this flag. My number 13 would be this year's Cinderella team, the Tennessee Titans, and Mr. Cam Ward.
I've got him even higher.
I love it. I got Cam with 3,800 and 22 TDs, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you this. That's probably low. I am super high on the Titans this year, my friend.
I can't believe I agree with you. Look, I can't believe when I did these rankings, I was like, my God, how? I don't even like this kid.
Me either. I am so far out on the Titans. Look, last year we both agreed he was just, no, don't draft him. But look, let me just throw this at you. I can't remember. I think he had like 3,200 yards last year or something like that. So basically 3,200 yards. They got rid of the tight end, subtract 700 yards because that's where it came from. This is my mind thinking. So if y'all want to know how crazy I think. So you take the 700, well, they add Wayne Dale. He's going to get 700. You add the guy from Ohio State, that's a 1,000-yard receiver, my friend. So right now we're at 4,200 yards. The touchdowns may not come, and that may be his downfall, but dadgum, he's going to get the yards.
I don't ever want to hear you make fun of Polylytics again with the math you just spouted off.
Yeah, dude, it's so, look, my mind, way I think is so crazy, but hey, I got there.
You got there, and I'm proud. I'm glad I'm not on an island. I'm really relieved to not be on an island.
I thought you would have him so much later, but I do think, look, I think the Tennessee Titans will be that team that nobody sees coming out. I really do.
Yeah. Uriah and I were texting earlier this week, and I said, there are some guys I'm shocked at how high I have. And he was like, me too. And I wondered if we had the same guy that high because we both hated him last year.
And we hadn't said it yet. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's still there.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So what was that for you?
That was 13. 13.
That was 13.
So I will go to 12. You've already said him, Mr. Sam Darnold, 3,700 yards, 28 TDs. I understand where you're coming from. I really do. And I'm not going I wouldn't fight you for it. I get it.
Yeah.
But JSN, I like their weapons. I like them. That's all I don't think you can drop him to where you dropped him. But saying that, that's probably the ceiling for Mr. Sam Darnold.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think his ceiling might be even higher, but
it could be.
Just to say, where I dropped him is not as low as consensus. I'm still ahead of consensus on Darnold.
Look, from here on up is fixing to get crazy when you think about who I'm taking. So,
I mean, I totally do think that Sam Darnold can be a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
But there is also, for me, there is also that element that I mentioned of like, I'm bumping down the West Coast guys. I want these ones who are willing to air it out more.
Yeah.
Because I just think that's where the NFL is about to head. It hasn't quite headed there yet, but I think this is the year, next year is where it really breaks in that direction, where it's all 90s Jags all the time.
All right. Who do you have at 12?
I have at 12 a guy who I might end up moving down a touch, but I do like him, Daniel Jones. The only reason I would move him down is that Achilles and how that affects him.
Yeah.
But what he did last year before the injury was just so impressive. And even without Michael Pittman, it's still such a good receiving room. And if he can recover from the Achilles, he's a runner, you know? So there's a lot to like about Daniel Jones. I am skittish of the injury though, I will admit.
Totally get that. All right, go ahead with your 11.
11 is Cam Ward, my ultimate bargain bin pick.
Absolutely.
Agree with everything you say. I'll just add on, Brian Daboll as offensive coordinator was who fixed Josh Allen.
Yep.
And I think there are some stylistic similarities between Cam Ward and Josh Allen. And yes, you and I both love Carnell Tate, love having him there. I mean, essentially, like, when I looked back at it, I mean, Cam Ward had a 3,000 yard season last year and change
Yeah.
with
Nobody.
with nobody.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about Elika Yomanor and Jamiri DK are now your 3 and 4.
And look, I'll say this: those two wide receivers definitely bargain bin buys. Definitely,
Maybe. Or I said 3 and 4. They're 4 and 5. They're wide receivers 4 and 5 on the depth chart now.
Yeah.
Because you have wide receiver 1, Carnell Tate, wide receiver 2, Calvin Ridley, wide receiver 3, Wan'Dale Robinson. Suddenly, this looks like a good. I like DK as a wide receiver 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I like Wan'Dale as a 3. I like Ridley as a 2. Ridley's problem is that he's just not a 1. But if you believe that Tate can be a 1, and I do, some people think he's a 2, but I think he's a 1. And if you believe that, that means Ridley's a 2. This is a good situation for Cam Ward.
And look, I know we will get into this later, but Gunnar Helm, bargain bin tight end, pick him up.
Sure. I don't hate that.
I love him. I mean, and I never thought that I would say I like the Tennessee Titans, but I do.
Well, I certainly never thought I would say I like Cam Ward. It's really what it comes down to for me. Take the Titans out of it. I just didn't like Cam Ward as a prospect and didn't like him his rookie year, really. But I looked back on it and I'm kind of bought in. He is consensus 25. I have him QB 11.
All right. My number 11 was Mr. Patty Mahomey.
Okay.
3,700 yards, 26 TDs, and I got him with 300 yards rushing and 4 rushing TDs with that gimpy knee. Once again, this could be way high, like you said earlier. Justin Fields could be there. But
yeah, that's my only concern, really.
I've never liked the wide receiver room there.
Yeah.
But besides last year, he's always produced.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
That's more he's there. Once again, kind of think this is his ceiling. I could be way wrong, but this is where I'm coming from.
Well, obviously I haven't talked about him yet, so.
Yes. So that will go into number 10, Mr. CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud, top 10 quarterback.
3,700 yards, 25 TDs. Listen, the Texans will be a playoff team, and they will go further than 2 games. Planting the flag there.
If they do, it's the defense, probably.
I agree. But, I mean, dude, they have a squad. Once again, now we're getting into squads. Montgomery, my boy Woody. I mean, the wide receivers, you can just go down a list of that. And if Tank Dell returns to what he was, wow, you got a squad. So, once again, all of these years, I know you take it into account. I usually don't about the injuries. Freak things could happen. I get that. So, I try not to put that in there, but I understand what you're saying. So,
yeah, and I mean, listen, the way that I really calculate injuries is
every other year.
No, it's on a 3-year sample size. I don't actually look at the injuries themselves most of the time. Burrow is an exception because it's just so extensive with him. But usually the way I calculate it is, hey, over a 3-year sample size, is your passing yardage low relative to other people? And that's an availability thing, right?
I get that.
If you're not sniffing 10,000 yards over 3 years, that means either you've been benched a lot or you've been hurt a lot, but you've been missing time if you're not anywhere near 10,000. And Burrow's 7,000 over 3 years, which is crazy to think about. But anyways, Stroud has hit the 10,000 mark, so I'm comfortable with that. I don't see him as any kind of injury risk, really. I think his offensive line can be good. It's his confidence, man. I'm scared. I'm scared of him being a head case now.
All right. So who do you have at number 10?
My 10 is one that I almost moved up today, but I was like, I can't do it. And a lot of people are going to think I'm low. You won't, because you've already talked about him. I want to move him down. I'm just not sure how to do it. It's Jaden Daniels. It's hard to move someone who is that talented as a fantasy asset with his legs out of the top 10. But he's another one. He's like Joe Burrow to me almost, where his injury is stacking up so much that I don't really trust him anymore. And I will probably end up moving him down more just to be sure. Like, there's no way I'm drafting this guy because I don't want him because he's too much of an injury risk for me.
I get that. I really do. All right. So who you got 9?
You talked about him a while ago. I forget where you had him. For me, it's a steal, not a deal. He is consensus 13. He is my QB 9. He is Bo Nix. Bo Picks.
Get it, man. I understand. I believe, but
inconsistent though he is.
Yeah.
Enigmatic, dare I say, though he is. I mean, look, this is kind of like the Cam Ward thing where you're bumping all the receivers down one, and like Iomanor is now your 4. Yeah. That looks pretty good. You add in Jalen Waddle to this offense, and suddenly, okay, Cortland Sutton's your 2, Troy Franklin's your 3, Marvin Mims is your 4. Okay, I'm on board with this now. Like, that's a really good situation. And so, and Nix has been good, right? I mean, he's averaging over 3,000 yards a season and a lot of touchdowns on top of that. I think he's due for a 4,000 yard season. I think the Broncos have the best roster in the AFC from top to bottom. If I have any concern, it's just that they're going to get leads because of their defense and not need to be in a shootout. Yeah. But I don't think their run game is set up that way. Yeah. I think they will always be a pass happy team. And so that bodes well for Bo Nix. I think he is QB 9. I can't really bring him any higher than that. He is someone that's I'm drafting him at his ceiling at 9. Yeah. But I'm comfortable doing that.
Yeah. I totally get that. Sean Payton, he's liable to get in his funk and do some weird stuff. So inconsistency, Sean Payton, who knows if he's bombing it, if he's not, if he's running. So I get it.
The suspense is killing me with some of these people that I know. In one case that neither of us have named, and in one case that you haven't named. So I guess 2 that you haven't named. This is getting crazy.
I know. Let's go number 9 for me will be Mr. Daniel Jones.
That's the one I was looking for.
3,900 yards and 29 TDs. And of course, all this is dependent on is his Achilles as well as they say that it is.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm coming from. I'm coming from that. I don't like Alec Pierce. I feel like he's just a down the field guy, but whatever.
You like Tyler Warren, though.
Look, pick that guy up.
Yeah.
He had what was it, 100-something targets, and that was with Michael Pittman?
It was crazy.
So, he's going to be this year's, Trey McBride, but with touchdowns or whatever. But anyway, I feel like I'm almost too high on Daniel Jones, but So
I think you're too high. Yeah, I do. Like, the problem with the Achilles thing is we're not going to know until we see him week 1.
And I admit that, and I may be totally wrong. It may be the whole situation with Kirk Cousins and his first couple of games, but I'm saying they say it's great, so I'm just going with what they're saying. Now this one, number 8. Personally, I feel like I have him too low. Mr. Caleb Williams.
You have him too low.
3,400 yards, 25 TDs, 700 yards rushing, 4 TDs. Man, I can get on board with this Bears team. I really can. I feel like I'm holding my reins back with it.
Yeah.
So what's his consensus?
His consensus is 8.
Okay, so I'm there. Okay.
You're there.
With all the other morons. I do think I should be higher on him, but
I will talk more about Caleb later. But one thing I'll just say about the Bears in general, great fantasy playoff schedule with the caveat that they could have some bad weather games, and that could be terrific.
Okay,
but their matchups for fantasy playoffs, very, very juicy. Should be shootouts on paper.
Okay, so who do you have at 8?
I have Mike McDaniels' new weapon, Justin Herbert. I I mean, look, he got one MVP vote last year. He might have more this year. It's easy to forget where we were after opening game. Was it opening night? Yeah, I think it was the opening game
Mm-hmm.
a year ago. Or it was certainly the opening week. Chargers versus Chiefs, and Justin Herbert looked electric. He looked like the best quarterback in the NFL, slayed the Giants that are the Chiefs, but then his entire offensive line got hurt. He
Yes.
had, by the end of the year, he was like, they were literally signing people off the streets and having them go start games.
And he was still slinging it.
Our heavier members of our fantasy football league could have gone and been offensive linemen for the Chargers last year. It was that rough. And he still looked pretty good with that. Now you get him a theoretically healthy offensive line again, Rashawn Slater back, Joe Alt back, and you give him this offensive genius in Mike McDaniel, who has never had a weapon like this to work with. And you give him a speedy receiver named Brennan Thompson, who, look, don't draft him. Don't draft Brennan Thompson, guys. But once a game, this guy might get behind the defense and get a long touchdown for Justin Herbert. I'm really excited about Justin Herbert this year. I have him as a top 8 quarterback. Consensus has him 7, so I guess I'm 1 behind consensus, but I'm right there with them. It's not a reflection on him. I might move him up 1 or 2. I probably will move him up 1 or 2 by the end of the year. And it's really just that there's some guys ahead of him that I still really like that other people have problems with.
Okay. My number 7 would be Mr. Baker Mayfield.
Mine too. Ding, 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 ding.
Baker Mayfield, 3,900 yards, 29 TDs. Let's get that Buck team rolling. I feel like they will be.
Can I just say, great value. Great value.
Yes. Look, I think 8 and up, I don't think you can go wrong with. Now, somebody's going to get hurt. Something's going to happen. But, man, I feel like that's some prime, like you said earlier, don't take a quarterback. Man, this is some good people. Love their wide receivers. Love the running back. I do like their tight end. Of course, you know that.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Don't talk about it. But he's by himself this year.
He is.
Just like Cade Otton. That's just out there. But anyway, so that's my number 7.
He is mine as well. Look, consensus, he's 18.
Man, that's too low. It's way too low.
People are really down on Baker right now. I think part of it is that the Bucs aren't giving him a new contract, and that's got everyone a little scared. He got banged up. His shoulder got hurt again last year, and he played through it, and he regressed a little bit with the injury. I'm going to assume that the shoulder is good now, and Baker's a dog. What else is there to say? That dude is a dog. Listen, I've got a little bit of that dog in me, but it's just the part that's afraid of vacuum cleaners. He's got the whole dog. He's got the dog that's going around chasing cars.
Biting tires.
Yeah,
that's that dude right there.
Like, I'm almost certainly going to keep him in our league. And so, yeah, I love Baker Mayfield. And I can't wrap my head around these people who have him down at 18. No. I think that's crazy too low, even if you think, well, his shoulder or whatever. He's just too good of a quarterback at this point. Over the last 3 years, 11,000 yards over 3 years.
Yeah. All right. So since you had him at 7, let's go number 6, Joey B.
Oh, there it is.
Coming in, 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns. This is his off year where he doesn't get hurt. And look, they're going to be cooking. Let them cook. Cook. Like it. Talk bad about me. Go ahead, Foley.
I've already said my thing on Burrow. I know you keep saying this off-year thing. He got hurt year before last. So
it wasn't like season injury like last year.
That finger thing, if I remember right.
He'll be okay this year.
Look, he's so talented. He's very Drew Brees-esque when he's on the field, but he doesn't protect himself. He was playing the friggin' flag football game out there, and he was hurting himself on that or not protecting himself in a flag football game.
Hey, he's just doing his work. Let the man cook. He's good.
Nothing personal against him. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he balls out. I love Jamar Chase. I
Love
love
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Not just as a player, but he is one of my favorite players in the NFL. So I hope Burrow does well by him. I just don't think he's going to stay healthy.
All right.
He's going to risk it. I can't stomach the risk of it. Is whatever.
Number 6 for you.
You're not going to like it. He is my good and gather of the year.
Oh, my God.
He's just good and gather. He's not a great value like Baker Mayfield, but he's a good and gather. Consensus 14, my QB 6 is Patrick Mahomes. And this might be the last. This is higher than I've had him in past years. I am really banking on Matt Nagy leaving is all that it takes to get Patrick Mahomes back on track. And again, what I said about hey, teams are just they want you to dink and dunk. Eric Bieniemy's back in the building. Let Patrick Mahomes air it out a little bit. Let him get some deep shots to Xavier Worthy or whoever else, Tyquan Thornton if he's still there. Let's get that deep ball back in the rotation because Mahomes does have a bazooka and he can run. I think this can be a bounce back year for Patrick Mahomes. That's why I have him at 6. I understand why some people don't.
All right. Hit me with number 5.
This is the last one where I'm going to say, I could really move him down a lot from where I have him, and that is Jalen Hurts. I am taking him at his ceiling at 5, and I recognize that. It's hard for me to discount how good he has been for fantasy. He has just been so good throughout his entire career. So much of it is rushing touchdowns for sure, but you and I have talked a lot this offseason about the concerns with him. The fact that without A.J. Brown, are they going to force him to throw to the middle of the field, which could be a very good thing.
Yeah.
That's the upside of that is, hey, we could unlock a new level of Jalen Hurts if he can finally throw to the middle of the field. But there's a concern that he just actually can't. He's not good at that. And now we've given him a bunch of receivers that can only work the middle of the field. And he can't. And it's a disaster.
That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, I have that concern too, and I might end up bumping him down 1 or 2 spots because of that, but I can still talk myself into actually, he's just going to get unblocked. There's going to be a new level of his game now. It's going to be like when Aaron Rodgers got rid of Mike McCarthy. Not that he's on that level. I'm not trying to say that he's as good as Rodgers was back then, but he is a talented quarterback. He's been a top 5 fantasy quarterback every year. It's hard not to have him in the top 5.
Okay.
Led me to a championship last year. Well, I don't know about led, but he was a part of a championship last year.
So my number 5 would be Mr. Dak Prescott.
Wow.
4,200 yards, 29 TDs. You cannot discount that wide receiver room. And the tight end room. And as much as I do not like Javonte Williams, he did great last year. Look, their defense is better. I don't know if that'll equate to fantasy, but man, you might be right, and I may be way high, but with those receivers, I don't think you can go any lower.
I don't hate it, man. I do think you're drafting him at his ceiling at 5, but sometimes we've got to do that. I said it. He could be the best offense in the NFC. I think that's a real possibility with those receivers that he has. And this time a year ago, I was really worried that the coach whose name I'm blanking on now, son of another coach, Schottenheimer. I was really worried that Schottenheimer was going to be too conservative. He has proven me wrong. He is not too conservative. And now we have this track record of he got the best out of Russell Wilson, and he's gotten really good play out of Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
I'm willing to concede that Schottenheimer is just a very good offensive coordinator. So again, I have Dak considerably lower than you do, but I don't hate where you have him.
All right, I don't know who goes next, but you can go to number 4.
My number 4 is Lamar Jackson, and I want to acknowledge some people will call Foley a hypocrite. Because I have Burrow so low because of his injury history, and yet I have Lamar Jackson at 4. Lamar's injuries have not kept him out for nearly as long as Joe Burrow's have. Joe Burrow over the last, again, I like to use passing yards as sort of a measurement for how much time have you missed. Joe Burrow has thrown for 7,000 yards over the last 3 seasons. Lamar Jackson has thrown for 9,000 yards over the last 3 seasons, while running a lot more than Joe Burrow does. So even though Lamar does still have some injury concerns for me, he's just so darn good. He's so electric. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL year in, year out. So I think he has to still be a top 5 quarterback, and I'd rather have him than Hurts. So he's 4. Yeah, he's awesome. And I totally hear you about the bad receivers. I've been frustrated with Lamar about that with the Ravens for Lamar's entire career.
Yeah.
I've always wanted him to have better weapons, but he's done it without them for so long. At this point, I'm willing to shrug and say, hey, Lamar can make it work with these guys. He's just that good.
Okay, I get that. My number 4, Mr. Jared Goff, 4,300.
Holy cow!
4,300 yards, 28 TDs. The man has thrown for 4,000 yards. What, 3 or 4 years in a row? This now I understand this could be the year it stops, but man, it's just he's on that train. He's rolling. Jamar, you can't discount that. Tisla, St. Brown, Laporta, all the. I mean, look,
yeah,
I can't get past that. I mean, will they be a great team? No. Will they be a great fantasy team? I think they will be, but I understand where you're coming from.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna, like I said, I have Goff at 24. I will move him up. My model is holding him down because of his lack of legs, but I will move him up from 24, but I will not move him up that high. My encouragement to readers is to split the difference between where Uriah has him, readers, you listeners, where Uriah has him and where I have him right now, to split the difference. I will say, in Goff's credit, you kind of touched on this, but I was thinking about this earlier today. I mean, I don't think Jared Goff is an amazing quarterback by any means, but there is a continuity to the Lions' offensive personnel that is really very few teams have that level of continuity where it has been Goff, Gibbs, Amon-Ra, Williams, and the tight end, Laporta. Like those core 5, it's been them since Gibbs and Laporta were rookies, which has been 4 years now. Like there is that level of continuity that just very few teams get. So that's good. The lack of continuity, though, is an offensive coordinator, and that's my biggest concern.
Understand. Number 3. Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. You said you felt like you were too low on him. I feel like I'm too low on him at 3.
Wow.
It is Caleb Williams.
Okay.
And the only reason I don't have him 2 is because I am worried that he's going to end up in a bunch of Blizzard games during the playoffs. And that like you can't bet on that kind of thing, but it does just scare me a little bit. I think Caleb Williams was very good at the end of last year, and he's going to be even better. Ben Johnson, best offensive coordinator in the NFL. He's an air. Caleb Williams has that thing I've been talking about. He can chuck that dang ball, and I mean, he's still got the weapons. I'm so high on their receivers this year. Like, my only question is, do I want Luther Burden or do I want their tight end, Colson Loveland? Which one do I want? Because I don't want to do the Uriah thing where I get the triple stack. But
don't triple stack anything, brothers.
But which one of those 2 do I want? I don't know. I love them both. Caleb Williams is. I'm just so impressed with him. I'm really, really excited about what he can be this year. And I think his floor is really high, right? Like, even if he still has some accuracy issues, I think his floor is basically what he did last year. And he was a top 10 quarterback last year, top 5, top 10, something like that. So, I mean, it's hard to see. I don't think there's any world where he's outside the top 12 at the end of the day.
Look, I totally agree with what you said. And like I said, I think I have him too low. 3 might be a little high, but I would not argue with that one. So I agree. My number 3, T-Law. Give me Trevor. And listen, when I say this, guys, I want you to listen to the numbers I throw out on my next 3 guys. T-Law, 4,300 yards passing, 30 TDs, 200 yards rushing, and 7 rushing touchdowns, which is what threw him above everybody else. Look, this is my island. I've had a couple of people I'm standing on. Standing on business with T-Law. There it is.
Yeah, just what bizarro world are we in? You were always the Lawrence hater, and I was the Lawrence apologist.
And we have swapped places.
And I'm not a hater by any means.
I know
a lot of my stuff with Lawrence is not about him. I'm just not excited about that receiving room.
Yeah. I understand. And I get it. So we'll just go. Now here we are. Number 2.
In the showdown. I feel like I should switch to a cowboy filter. We're like about to draw on each other with
your Super Bowl champions, Justin Herbert and the San Diego Chargers. That is Justin Herbert, 4,500 yards passing, 33 TDs, 300 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Get on Justin Herbert train while you can.
I thought I was with him at 8.
Yeah, he's going to look. That's a squad. Once again, I said their squad. That is a squad.
Yep.
Omarion is going to look. He got hurt last year. I understand. He's going to be a beast. They got the kid from Baltimore. He's going to run loose a couple of times a game. Ladede, he's going to be there. And then you got all the other guys. Look, I'm telling you, look, Justin Herbert, like him. So who do you have to? Please, it can't be our number 1. We got to agree on number 1.
We do agree on number 1 because you've already said my number 2. Thank God. And before I just say the name, I want to repeat what I said earlier of like, I have these huge question marks about number 2 on. Like,
yeah,
we all love QB1. QB2 through 32. There's at least one question mark. It's Drake May for me. I might end up pushing Caleb ahead of Drake, but
dang, I have him at 16.
Yeah, no, I think you're too low on. I don't. There's no world he should be 16, but I could push Drake. I won't push him down to 6, but I can think it's still reasonable if you have him down at like 6. Past that, I think you're being unreasonable. So let me address the concerns with Drake May. He had a rough playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
He looked bad in the playoffs. He was a passenger to a great defense on that playoff run. He was also against literally in his 4 games in the playoffs. They were the 4 best teams, 4 best defenses in the NFL. It was a murderer's row of defenses that he was facing with a busted up offensive line. And so I think that was the worst version of Drake May. I have no reason to think that's who he is as a quarterback. Yes, his schedule will get tougher than it was last year. He had a very easy schedule last year.
Cush schedule.
Absolutely. But it's not as easy as people think it was. It was like, overall, the Patriots had a very easy schedule, but it wasn't an easy schedule for quarterbacks necessarily. He had to face some pretty good pass defenses on that road. Not great necessarily, but he had some challenges that he passed with flying colors. And then on top of that, but let's just say his schedule will get tougher this year, because it will. But I think that's offset by the fact that you bring in A.J. Brown and they've upgraded their offensive line. And I think those two things working together offsets any concerns I have about his schedule being tougher this year. And he was probably arguably the second best quarterback in the NFL. I mean, I think he was the second best quarterback in the NFL last year. And so run that back, right? That's kind of why I have him where I do. He is consensus 3. Lamar is consensus 2, by the way.
Wow.
Yeah, because I mean he's Lamar Jackson. I understand. But that's just where I land with it, man. I think Drake May is very, very good. I'm a Patriots fan in addition to a Lions fan, so it's not like I can't imagine a world where this all falls apart. I kind of was worried about that last year with him.
Yeah.
And it still lingers. I hope Evan doesn't keep him. Let me just say, I'm the reigning champion, but I want to take my crown off right now because I have barely even been able to enjoy this championship because it eats me up every single day that I had this choice between keeping Brock Bowers and Drake May.
I'm sorry.
And I kept Bowers.
I'm sorry. You said what? Who'd you keep?
I thought I had this choice of keeping Brock Bowers for an 11th round pick or Drake May for a 12th round pick, and I went with Bowers. And I shouldn't have. Like, even if I did own Bowers, which I don't, it was still the wrong decision. I should have done Drake.
So listeners and fellow league members, you heard it here first. There is now an asterisk by this year's championship again. So 2 championships, 2 asterisks, carry on.
There was no asterisk with the first one for sure.
There was.
This one,
James will back me up on this one.
And he's never backed you up.
Yes, he has.
He's never been able to cite any evidence. It's just pitchforks when he backs you up. That's all he's brings. But yeah, no, it like, even just talking about it now, like, literally my stomach hurts thinking about the fact that I did not keep Drake May last year. I will never forgive myself for that, because it was the right move at the time, and I just overthought it because I'm a Patriots fan and I was worried. Anyways, we know who our number 1 is.
Yes. I'll just throw it out there. Josh Allen, 4,100 yards, 30 touchdowns. And the reason he is ahead of Justin Herbert will be the 500 yards rushing and the 8 rushing touchdowns. Love the team, blah, blah, blah. Can't really say enough about them. The only thing that's going to stop them is Josh Allen and the janky wide receiver situation, besides DJ Moore.
I can't even worry about the wide receiver situation anymore. It's like the Lamar thing. Like, Josh Allen's just done this so long. I don't care.
Yeah. He's just going to do his thing.
What weapons he has. He's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, real question. If Josh Allen retires today, does he go into the Hall of Fame? Is he a first ballot Hall of Famer?
No, he's not.
No to first ballot. I think I agree. No to first ballot. Do you think he gets in eventually?
No.
No.
I think it personally, yes. I just think it would be a no because of every year failing in the playoffs. It's got to be this year. It's got to be. If it's not this year, he's going to be the guy who can't get it done.
Listen, I have historically been a rings matter kind of guy. I mostly am. I think rings genuinely do matter for when we're talking about the greats. There's a reason Joe Montana is ahead of Drew Brees for me, for instance, right? Like, but I think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL. I think he is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. Take fantasy out of it. I think he's a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the best of all time, man. Like, we've just never seen anyone. Josh Allen is what Cam Newton could have been, should have been.
Oh, no.
If Cam's head were right. Cam had all the physical tools to be what Josh Allen is. And we've just never seen a quarterback like this. I can't say enough good about him. We talked about this on maybe our last episode in terms of fantasy. Like, Uriah and I both like to wait at quarterback. I think that's probably still the right strategy.
Yeah.
But I don't, in a single quarterback league, I don't mind taking Josh Allen at the end of the second round, because just know what you're getting with him.
Especially on that turn. If you're at the 2, 3, that's a look. If you can get like a stud and then another decent guy and then stack Allen, that's hard to.
I mean, put it this way, right? Like, if you're picking number 1 overall, you're getting either Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs. Pick your poison. Then, okay, Josh Allen and Luther Burton's probably still too early for Luther Burton, but I really like Luther Burton. But name a pretty good wide receiver, right? Like, there's still a lot that are going to be there.
What if you could go like Bijan, Brock Bowers, and then Josh Allen?
I mean, I'd probably stay away from the tight end. I'd go for a wide receiver there probably, or double up at running back.
Says the guy who takes tight ends every year.
No, I did that last year. That was out of the ordinary for me. We'll talk about that on the tight end show, though.
Hey, I mean, you had 3 studs though at tight end.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I racked up, but that was a different strategy for me than normal, because I just thought it was a special year. But here's the thing: pick number 1, Bijan or Gibbs, whichever one you want. Pick number 2, Josh Allen. Pick number 3, top of the third, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry still might be there. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Anyways, the point is, Josh Allen is special.
He is.
I don't think there's ever been a fantasy quarterback like Josh Allen who has been so consistently top tier for so long. I mean, he's been a top 3 fantasy quarterback at the end of the year for like 5 years in a row. It's insane. It's insane the run that he's on. And it'll have to end at some point. Something's got to go wrong. But until it does,
Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that concludes our crazy quarterback ranking show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week, we want running backs.
Yeah.
Sounds great. So look, tell your friends, tell your family, like it, subscribe, do all that stuff. And that's out. I'm out. Foley, you got anything?
Mugshots has great buns. Love their buns.
He's a bun guy.
I am a bun guy.
Catch you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.